Welcome back to OTT Sports. I'm Michael Broughton.
Hi there, I'm Mark Panis.
And Mark, this morning I was driving the car and they said one of these things that just drives me nuts because you saw it around the European Super League. The guy was saying, look, treat us as fans, not as customers and consumers. And honestly, I think they need to flip this on its head, because only when you are thought of as a fanatic can you be treated the way they feel like they've been treated, right? Because I've personally never come across a successful business that can treat somebody like that and keep them as a customer. But the reality is they're not going anywhere.
No, certainly, the most passionate fans are not, and their willingness to wrap themselves in that passion, God, we love it. It's the engine for this industry. But for the cynical leadership at the club level, and there is a good amount of that, you're exactly right. Where are they going to go? If you contrast that with, a consumer packaged goods business, for example, people just not buy your product. We've seen, economic boycotts against companies based on their policies with increasing frequency, and it does have an impact. It seems that the impact that's being directed to sports clubs is misdirected. For example, the recent protests at Manchester United, they didn't go after the club, they went after the club sponsors.
Right, they still bought the season tickets because they know if they don't buy the season ticket, their friend down the pub is likely going to buy the season ticket. It's tribal over here, it just is. More so than it is in the US. And I think you have a problem there that it's very hard for a business like sports to be able to then segment down to the people that live within the 50 miles, who are truly fans,
the inner market,
in the very definition, and those fans that follow you outside, right? Mm-hmm. And who actually, they're a customer via TV.
Yeah, and that if we go back 20 years ago, I think the separation between those two was significantly smaller, maybe not even perceptible. But today it's become a chasm. As the sports have expanded to global footprints, as out-of-market rights, particularly in North America, have become ubiquitous, where you can be a Seattle Seahawks fan and you can watch them from any state in the US. What you've seen is those out-of-market fans, they have become much more like the average consumer. Do I get the next OTT streaming package that's going to allow me a bundle of rights to see this? I might not. It really becomes a cost basis. They have taken a tribal nature out of that experience, and I think that trend has accelerated across sports as they expand their fan bases.
And typically what I think you've seen then in other walks of life is a consumer business has tried desperately hard to bring people onto their platform.
Yeah.
Right? How do we find them? How do we bring them back to us? And then how do we keep them on our platform for as long as possible, whatever walk of life that may be? In sports, it's fascinating because go to any top level sports team's website and try to find, and I've done this with the US, I've done this with the UK, try to find where you can communicate directly with your fan base or your club on their website. You can't find it. So it's one of these bizarre consumer businesses that actually says, no, go somewhere else to talk about us.
Yeah, well, for certain, don't call the switchboard, right? There's only two options at the switchboard. Go into voicemail.
Unless you want to buy a ticket.
Yeah, that's the second option. If you want to go in, and we're happy to sell you more, more product. But other than that, we really don't want to have a conversation with you. It's quite telling. I think that the outer market experience for consumers, the broadcast relationship that has evolved, the fan to screen relationship rather than fan to stadium to team relationship, that is something that is going to continue to widen the difference, and sports clubs have to figure out a way to address that, to keep the larger fan base in closer to them passionately, and frankly take better care of the fan base that are within the inner market, that are coming to their matches.
And in all honesty, better leverage the marketing spend that these broadcasters and sponsors are putting in every year, day in, day out, building their own brands.
Right.
Anyway, we'll be back to talk about the fans more in the future. I'm absolutely positive of that. They are central to our industry. and long may that continue. But until next time, thank you for watching OTT Sports. Follow us on YouTube, innermarketmedia.com, and of course, join the conversation on Clubhouse.